So far within the ROI certification program, we've looked at both our sales as well as our server opportunities within our outlet. The next area we want to explore to better understand is within the revenue management module called hourly sales. This report will allow you to cultivate a food and beverage strategy for both your menu items as well as your staffing, all with the goal of decreasing labor cost as well as maximizing efficiency. The Sales by Hour report allows you to identify opportunities to help menu performance as well as your labor costs, identifying your operating hours or when you specifically need someone to come in early to prep for something that you know sells most often at a certain time. Within Avero, you have the ability to choose either a date range or a date trend. A range takes the beginning and an end date and creates an aggregate total in between, whereas a trend allows you to understand how something is behaving over a period of time. For the first time within this certification program, we are going to choose a trended date to understand on a given Saturday what we can expect as it relates to volumes. Beyond looking at our revenue center and order type, the metric that we are going to want to choose depends on our position. From a revenue management perspective, gross sales makes most sense to understand your marketing opportunities. But from a front of house as well as back of house perspective, cover count is the metric you would like to use in order to understand your volumes throughout the day. Once I select go, I'm able to see on a given Saturday based on historical data what my covers look like. We would then want to select the average to see throughout a total Saturday what can we expect throughout this day. As you move down to the raw data, you'll be able to see how both events and weather had an impact on your sales that day. It's important to note that throughout the day, we're able to see where we get the most covers, seen in our average, right in the right-hand side. Overall, you can use this report to better understand how you should be staffing. The best operators use this tool by figuring out when they can reduce operational expenses or insert promotions such as a happy hour to increase foot traffic and therefore sales. You can identify where throughout this average are your lowest periods of volume and when are the highest to better staff as well as cut staffing at the end of the night. Besides looking at our labor hours, we would want to understand what items are specifically selling throughout a day on a given Saturday. This will lead us to the item sales by hour report. Going off of the sales by hour report, we navigate then to the item sales by hour to understand our menu performance throughout a business day. Sticking with the 7 past Saturdays for Slingshot in the dining room, we want to look specifically within the food, what we can expect to sell as it relates to appetizers at a certain time, as well as entrees, sides, and desserts. This report, used in tandem with the sales by hour report, is a great resource for your in-room dining departments to see guest preferences. You have the ability to menu engineer your item performance to see if it's necessary to run a full menu at all hours of the day, or can you create a smaller, more limited menu to cut back on resources. After running the report, you have the ability to see on an hour increment what specific appetizers you're selling. The total will allow us to see that we, on average, sell 37 macho nachos, 23 tortilla soups, as well as a Mexican pizza. Specifically for a pizza that takes upwards of 20 minutes to prepare, it's important to understand from a prepping and pouring perspective how much supplies you would need, and specifically what time these pizzas are most likely to sell in order to keep the flow of the dining room as well as the pace of the kitchen on par. In keeping with the format of the ROI certification program, please refer to the screenshot below and answer the following questions as it relates to optimizing both your menu performance and operating expenses on a given business day.